So, to wrap up the how to playlist for Unmanic, I had a chance to sit down with Josh.5 over Zoom and visit with him for a few minutes. He was gracious enough to let me ask him some questions about the background of Unmanic, what it's been like through development, and the direction moving forward. So, without any further ado, here's our conversation. So the chances are, if people are watching this, they're already familiar with what Unmanic is and what it does. But just looking at the forums, it seems like more and more people are discovering it. I was wondering if you can tell us a little bit about the purpose of Unmanic and how it works.
Yeah, so the whole idea behind Unmanic is to optimize your library. So if you have video content and you want it in a uniform format, then Unmanic is the tool for you. I wanted Unmanic to definitely be focused on video primarily, but media in general. And I definitely don't want to focus on any sort of targeting like movies and TV shows. So if you've got recordings from PVR systems and everything like that, and Unmanic is definitely usable for those systems as well.
Okay, cool. So I guess that could go along with people that have like video editing libraries and all sorts of media files.
Sure, yeah. For grabbing archives of things, that you want to keep, but you might want to optimize to another format. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Well, where did you come up with the idea for Unmanic? I mean, they say necessity is kind of the mother of invention. So was it like a light bulb moment, or did it just more come out of convenience and necessity for you?
Yeah, definitely out of necessity. So I'm running an Unraid server as well,
Mhm.
and so my hard drive space was running out, and a few years ago, Space Invader released a video showing a tutorial of how you can use Handbrake to optimize video content as it gets added to your library. And I thought, that's complicated. there's got to
Yeah,
be there's
I've
got to
seen
be a
that.
better
I've seen
way.
that video. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So I thought, oh, surely we could just wrap around FFmpeg as a command line tool and write something that you can run in a Docker container and just point that at your library and go. And so that's what I did. I started with just a command line single Python script wrapping around FFmpeg, and everything was configured through the Docker variables. Yeah, there was no user interface, nothing like that, and it worked quite well. But the general consensus was, when I put it in the forums, was it would be nice to have some sort of feedback other than just logs. It's
Right.
quite, yeah. So I rewrote the whole thing from scratch in about 2 weeks and released Unmanic. Yeah, and been developing ever since.
So when you first started it, you didn't really did you picture it turning into what it is now, or not? Not so much.
Nah, it was I wrote it purely to solve a problem for me.
Yeah.
I I loved the idea that you could optimize your library into something that's more reduces the file size and everything, but those options were just complicated, and I thought, nah, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been following Unmanic's development for a while now. I think I first heard about it on Reddit back in 2019. So to
That
that
sounds
end,
about
I
right.
mean, do you remember when you first started working on Unmanic and you decided to roll it out to the public? What was it that made you want to go public with it instead of just keeping it in your personal toolkit?
I'm a pretty big fan of open source, so yeah, if I make something, I definitely want to share it. And I felt like if it was useful to me, then surely it's useful to somebody else as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of us have probably found it useful. So, what would you say has been the biggest challenge in developing Unmanic? I mean, you've been in the trenches for a while now, so
um, Challenge. That's a um, I don't know. I really enjoy developing Unmanic, so it's more of a hobby. It's for me. I'm already a software developer of sorts, so for me, it's just a case of trying out new things in a playground that I can do it without any repercussions. There's no customer or client that's going to get angry with me if I decide I want to implement a feature. I remember early in the development, I had feedback from people saying, why don't you go use this library or do this thing? And I thought, no, I want to play. I want to do it my way. I want to do it this. So yeah, for me, it's a hobby. It's something that I enjoy doing. And yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, it's undergone quite a few changes since its early days, at least. And lately, you've had some big ones that have come out. Can you tell us a little bit more about the plugin functionality that's come out and what your plans are for it moving forward?
Yeah. So the plugin system is designed to be an extension to what Unmanic already is. Unmanic, like I was saying before, is designed to just be transcoding video and media in general and reformatting and optimizing it to your library into a uniform system, right? But there are a crap ton of other use cases that you might want to throw at it that are just well out of the scope of what Unmanic is, and that's where the plugin system is going to come in. So with it, the plugins are just simple little few 40-line Python scripts, and with that you can modify massively what the capability is of Unmanic. You can make it so that it one that I just wrote the other week was to notify Plex once the task is done. It's simple things like that that's out of the scope of what Unmanic actually is, but you can add a script like that to extend it and gives it a whole new functionality. And my intent is that over the next 12 months I'll be rolling out a whole bunch of these little scripts to do, well, I guess I'm relying on the community to tell me what they want, and it's completely open, so anybody can actually write their own and submit them to me, and I'll add them. And I'm thinking things like removing certain parts of a file, of a video file, things like the metadata, the subtitles, things like that. These sorts of advanced features that aren't really easily configured within Unmanic's settings, I'm going to generate plugins that people that are only wanting that feature, they can install it and extend Unmanic's capabilities.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat idea to have the core program and then that's universal and for the most part pretty static for everybody, but then to have that ability to customize and build upon that with the plugins it's a great idea. It's really neat. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, as Unmanic has grown and into what it is today, you've recently published some how-to documentation new users might find helpful. It's not often that developers take the time to be as thorough as you've been here. What made you want to do that?
Well, I would argue that developers, I know a lot of developers do, and definitely should. Documentation, if it's just me, even if it's just me and I'm the one that's developing or using it, I still document. I document for myself. There are things that I will forget in 6 months' time. So I write it down. And I feel like Unmanic can really be something that's useful. And I would like to engage, especially with these plugins, other people to get involved as a community to build these and expand on what Unmanic can do. And to that end, that's really the drive why I wrote this documentation page, is so that I can actually get more people using the system, finding answers already, so they don't have to go to the forums. The answers are just there, and actually take it upon themselves to extend the functionality as they see fit. So yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat. It's been fun working with you on the videos. For anyone that doesn't follow the channel, we put up some how-to videos in a playlist that integrates with the documentation that you were just going over. So to wrap up this how-to playlist, Josh, you actually took some time in your in a video on your channel that goes over the basics of writing a Python script for the plugins for third-party development, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I haven't uploaded anything yet, but I have recorded a video uh, detailing or showing how I wrote the Plex notification plugin. And if anyone wants to develop that, that'd probably be a good place to start. You can take a look at what I did and go from there.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, it's that video can be found in the Unmanic Documentation. And once you get that uploaded, I'll include a link for that down in the description below. Thanks again for the conversation. It's been
And
nice chatting with you and nice working with you for some of this along the way.
And on that note, I really appreciate the tutorials that you've been doing. That's I'm sure that a lot of these viewers will find that quite useful, and I find it useful because any help to them is help to me.
Well, that's great, man. It's a great community, and it's just nice to keep it moving forward. Everybody helping each other out. So I think I speak for a lot of people when I say we appreciate what you've done for us. So,
Yeah, no worries.
all right, man.
Happy.
Well, good deal. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
All right.
I thought it would be neat to meet one of our community devs. If you made it this far, I hope you at least found it interesting. Big thanks to Josh for his time, and thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, have a great day.